Welcome to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast, your podcast for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Sean Chavarella, Stephen Clary, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Welcome to another episode of Spare Parts. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Steven.
And I'm Taylor.
Guys, how was your week last week? Did you guys have a fun time?
Fantastic.
It was cold.
Oh, that's fun. I had a wonderful time on the beach. 27-degree weather the entire time.
Oh my gosh.
It was wonderful.
I'm shoving your fat ass in a snowbank.
I had to shovel a driveway yesterday. It's okay. I got
I'm
my
still shoving you.
Welcome back to Canada, Sean. Where
I
you
hate
came
it.
back to I don't even know, it just wouldn't stop snowing, I swear, for 3 days. Also, we haven't seen the sun for what feels like a month. So, yeah, welcome back. But I'm glad you had fun in the sun.
It was great. And it was free alcohol the whole time. It was fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah, did you finally figure out what all inclusive meant?
Yes, I did. I did not know beforehand. It was kind of bad.
I mean, it's a pretty simple concept when you really think about it.
How long did it take you?
Well,
How long?
I was more just being okay, so what do I get with an all-inclusive? The answer was everything.
Everything. It's all inclusive.
I didn't
Sean!
know that. Listen, as someone who has never had that or never done that,
I've never had that either.
Neither
and I
have
understand
I,
what
but,
all encompassing. All is included in your price.
It's everybody's, every young adult's dream is an all-inclusive where you just go and everything you don't have to pay extra for. Booze, food, whatever you want. All-inclusive.
Noted.
The best.
I did not know going, but now I have learned, okay? Can we...
Well, next time.
Yes, next time. There will definitely be a next time.
Yeah, well, and now you start early. Minute 1.
Oh, I definitely started early. The second we were there, we had drinks in our hands. It was great.
Oh, good. There you go. Solid.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fab time.
It was fantastic. Food was great. Outside was great. Not cold like up here, so, suck it.
And he still couldn't get a tan. Shocker.
See how freaking red my face is?
No, it doesn't look red.
Okay.
John didn't get tanned.
If you compare it to
got
last week,
burnt.
it definitely looks more red.
Sure.
I could see it. Just a little bit.
So
Not
before
that
I
bad,
was like
though.
a massive, there's good farmer's tan.
You look like you had a good time, though. See, us over here are just, winter skin.
Yes, which is just pale and lacking vitamin
I can't
D.
say that Steven is pasty, because he's not pasty.
No.
So,
For
tan
him,
holds over
he's very light. When he tans,
Yes.
he gets
he gets tan.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he gets dark.
Yep.
Anyway,
And then the rest of the Asian side of my family says I'm a peasant.
I am not touching that one. Nope, not going down that
Probably.
road.
That's fine.
I understand it culturally, not my place, so I'm just not gonna go down there.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, I'm moving away from that
racing.
minefield. Yeah, racing seasons have finally basically officially kicked off. Well, we had Rolex 24 this week.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Whole bunch of racing news is actually basically coming through. We got to basically pick and choose what we want now every week to talk about, so that's kind of nice. Versus being okay, does anything happen?
Formula E has been completely disregarded. Shocker. They've already had 3 rounds somehow.
And I
What?
didn't even realize.
Yeah. Nope.
It
Yeah,
is
no,
not okay. Quick little thing. Formula E is not marketed nearly enough as it should be if it wants to grow. I know we've had this discussion before, but I'm just saying the fact that none of us even clocked the fact that it started 2 rounds ago is insane.
Yeah, it is a very, very
Niche.
yeah. It should be more popular. They should put more behind it, but it's also hard to watch. It's very gimmicky now, and I'm just kind of like, you lost
Those
me.
gimmicks.
It's very video game-esque, but in real life. Like, it really is. But alas.
Yeah, that does
Anyway,
not make me want to watch it.
Where are we starting, Sean?
Okay, first thing I want to talk about, which is something that came up in the news last week, which I thought was great. I think a majority of the racing community thought was great, but for some reason there was still pushback and blowback too. And that was AJ Foyt's IndyCar team deciding to change their numbers from 1488 to 14 and 55. So, for context, Foyt's numbers to start this year were 1488. And again, I don't think anyone saw this link in it, but apparently in far-right neo-Nazi groups, 14 and 88 is a basically number code dog whistle for them. It's supposed to be, the 14 is supposed to symbolize some kind of German word that is, I think, anti-Semitic, basically. And the 88 is the 88, which is the second, or the eighth number in the alphabet, which is H, so HH, so Hail Hitler, so that's that thing. So again, I don't think anyone really thought of this when they were like, oh, cool, the cars this year are going to be 1488. Those are typical racing numbers. However, someone at Foyt, or someone told Foyt, hey, you may want to change that because there was some bad juju there, basically. You don't want to look like you're kind of, I guess it's a bad way to say it, Steven.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. No, but like, it's a
all
bad...
the words.
Yeah, I know. It's a bad look to have on your car.
Okay.
Because obviously the connotation there, like, you know. So what they did is they changed the 88 to 55, which I think is a good thing to do. People were pissed off about that.
Oh my gosh, of course they were. Ugh.
Like,
why?
I get it. For the team itself, it's just saving its ass, really. It's like, we don't want any bad press. We don't want to even have to have any kind of issue later in the season with, like, anyone linking this. We're just going to get ahead of it. We're going to change it. It doesn't cost us anything. It doesn't change anything. It's just the numbers. People were pissed off, being like, oh, well, cancel culture, woke, yada, yada. It's like, yeah, but, like, Nazis. So, like, I don't see why people were upset about it. I'm kind of disappointed in the members of the racing community who were upset about it, who are just kind of saying, like, there's no reason, like, this is stupid, this is going too far. Realistically, it's not going far. It's a company that says, we don't want any association with Nazis. We don't want to have anything or anyone even to have a sniff of a link between us and them. We're going to get ahead of this. We're done. So, I thought it was a fun thing.
A good position to have as a
You would think, right?
team. Like, I would think that that's the logical thing to do. Like, from just, like, a general humanity standpoint, like, let's not accidentally align ourselves with anything that has to do with, like, modern Nazism or anything like that. So, I think that's a great move. Why not? Like, from a PR standpoint, good to get ahead of things. There will be people who recognize that, you know, and you just don't want that.
Yeah.
So, but of course, there's always the people who get mad about things and be like, oh, well, you know what? They shouldn't be changing things because, like, it has nothing to do with that and all of that. And I'm like, take a chill pill.
Yeah.
We don't need to be upset about things that, like, if it costs them nothing to, what's the point of getting upset about it? If that's what they choose to do, then that's what they choose to do. And good on them for choosing to do that.
Steven, anything? Nothing?
No,
Just gonna
I mean,
nod.
there's not a whole lot else to say, really. What else is there to say?
God damn it.
I mean, like, they changed one number that was probably, let's say, the more problematic of the two.
Yeah.
The 14 Foyt has had for years. So
Yep, the 4 and 14 has been their car forever.
Yep. So if if you started with those two numbers and someone still drew that connection somehow, it'd be like, well, we've had 14 forever. So what? We've been Nazis for the last decade and a half or however long. Sure.
But it's not
if
the
that's what you think.
individual number, it's the combination of the two.
Exactly. So like it's risk and reward. So obviously like the risk of, I don't even know how you judge the risk on that. Cause like how many people are drawing that connection to the 88? I mean,
I didn't
like,
see,
so difference.
but like when they announced those are their numbers, or that's their cars, there was zero pushback from anyone.
Yeah.
Because no one,
Yeah.
I think, equated that. Like it's just numbers. No one thought of
like
it as
in
that.
Yeah.
Well, and it's not like people are chasing after NFL teams who off a 52-man squad. Lots of teams have an 88 and a 14 probably. Could I name every single team? No, but it's not like people are instantly like the Houston Texans are Nazis because two of their players were 14 and 88.
No.
This has to change immediately.
But
so
well, the Anti-Defamation League has an actual thing explaining the 1488 on its website. There is some meaning to that, right?
Yeah, so again, it's the risk, somewhat minimal, but there is some. The reward for doing this and the amount of, I don't know, financial input we have to do to get said reward, next to none at this point. It's pre-season before we've printed any merchandise or anything like that, so we've lost nothing. We're just going to change one of the car numbers. Simple as that. Done.
Yeah. Now, maybe you shouldn't change it to the number that can then become SS, but, you know.
All right, change it again.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But the 1488 thing, good on them or whoever notified them. And again, it wasn't even like there was outrage at it. There was more outrage that they changed it away from a Nazi symbol than that they had it in the first place. And that kind of speaks to how the world is right now.
Yeah.
But alas, we move on.
Yeah.
AJ Foyt moves on. By the time cars are on the track, it won't matter.
No. And I mean,
everyone's
that
gonna
happens
forget
this week.
that there even was a car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have testing this week, so people will forget.
Exactly. Until someone probably bins it and it's like, oh, that guy's terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The 55 bins it. It's because they changed the number.
Yes.
Sure.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm just gonna say you can't sell merch with 1480 in it because, like, you know, teams always sell team merch with all the numbers. You couldn't do that, so therefore, it makes total sense. Get rid of it. It's my last thing to say on it.
Yeah,
I'm done.
There, done, easy.
Okay.
Next.
We had the Rolex 24 this week. So, in less depressing news, we'll get to the fun news, and that is one of the best endurance races of the year started, and we got to finally see the what do they call it? GTP. Yes, that's it.
GTP. Okay. Okay. Can we just?
I think Taylor's
I just
excited.
Highlight and just talk
A
about.
little bit.
I'm really excited because honestly, I was watching. So like the whole Daytona weekend is actually pretty fun, and like IMSA as a series, like the support series that they run is honestly great.
I love the Daytona weekend. I want to go to it one year.
We will.
So
We need
like,
we need money for
next
that
year.
Yeah,
Come
next year.
year.
Next year we should go. Next year go.
Next year. Well, like again, gunning in. So, okay. So the whole weekend in general, it's awesome, and so I don't know how much of you guys like watched any of it. Sean, you were on vacation, so I don't expect you to have watched a lick of it other than the end.
I was flying for a good portion of it.
I just saw you
But
playing
like
on.
the actual, so the support series that ran. So there was a race, 2 races on Friday, one of which was the Mazda MX-5 Cup. Now,
those are
I just
always
wanna-
fun.
okay, I freaking love this series. It is by far one of the most underrated semi-pro like series in motorsports. It is so fun to watch. It was such a fun race. Please bring it back to CTMP. I'm really sad that they don't have them anymore, but it was just fantastic and just so much fun to watch. Also, the pilot challenge was a mess. That comes to the track, that comes to CTMP. So anybody who's out there wants to come to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park this summer, we'll see that. But the pet lane.
Are you doing ads for CTMP? Are you trying to?
No,
are you trying to
I'm
put
not
ads
doing
in here?
ads.
No free advertising.
Come
Damn it.
visit me. Come visit
Get
me.
paid.
No. Tell
Come
them.
visit the MMS.
Have them
Get us
pay us for
paid.
saying this.
Yes.
Okay, whatever. They don't have money for that.
Mortgage rates are
Anyway.
going up.
They have more
I
money
need
than we
money.
do.
Okay, so the actual race itself was really fun to watch. The GTP debut was fantastic. The pace that these cars have, incredible.
I will
they
say,
are so fast.
It was a fantastic debut if you weren't a Porsche.
If you weren't a Porsche or a BMW, they both struggled. But Acura and Cadillac?
Mwah. Perfect.
Mwah.
They've been bulletproof for a while.
Yeah, shocker.
I know. Oh,
Cadillac
it was
and-
just like
and Acura doing
watching those cars. Amazing. It was honestly such a good debut for them, and they just go so fast. And the other series, like there was a lot of issues with the LMP2s.
Always
This
is.
race, like they were pretty. Yeah, there was like a lot of insane reliability issues, lots of retirements. I don't know at the end of the race how many retirements there were. I think there were more, but the last time that I had like checked in and heard that coverage, they were like standing at 9. So I know that there was more because the GTD class had some crashes as well, which was insanely disappointing. But all in all, a very good race, very enjoyable. The finish was insane, very tight.
I mean, it's been tight over the years, but the fight between Cadillac and Acura was very good. Acura clearly had the advantage,
Yes, it did.
but yeah.
Like pretty much the whole race.
What was the one that was the? It was the LMP2 finish was the fantastic one.
The whole like
Yes.
0.05 difference.
I think it was like 0.016
At the line?
something like that. Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah.
It was tight.
It was nuts.
It was a 24-hour race that came down to the last 2 meters.
Yes.
So
And about like every 45 minutes or so, there was a full course yellow. So that was also interesting.
Yeah, that kind of
Yeah.
like towards the end, but like it was a good portion of the race that went caution free. Like I think from midnight almost onwards into the early morning. Like there was
they
they had to go like 5 hours caution free.
it was like 5 minutes short of 6 hours of green flag racing.
Damn,
Yeah.
it's pretty
It
good.
was a good run, and also not really a surprise of when it happened. Just trying to get through the night, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So big thing coming out of this though is that Shank has won 2 in a row, 2 Rolexes in a row.
Yes. Yes.
Acura has not committed to doing Le Mans yet.
Oh, they should.
Does this change
They
their
need
mind?
to.
yes,
I think so.
I
They
really
need to.
hope
They
so.
had such a good run. Oh my gosh. It was like, and honestly, all of the coverage I've been seeing on like different motorsports like news websites, they've all said the same thing. Like it was just amazing to
It was
watch.
flawless, and like even like
It
'cause
was.
they even had, I think it was at the 6 hour marks, they were like flushing the fluid or whatever out of it, like
Yeah.
perfect. They knew exactly what they had to do.
They were just it was like almost seamless. It was perfect. They had a fantastic race, and I would be so disappointed if they didn't run Le Mans.
So you're a Ferrari fan, so I'll just say prepare to be disappointed.
ha.
You should be used to it.
I don't know. Like at this point, I don't expect much.
Yeah,
Have no expectations, and therefore no disappointment.
that is fair. Except you expect them to run at Le Mans, and they probably won't. But I'm trying to reverse jinx this, okay?
It's,
Okay, let's reverse jinx it.
Exactly. Yeah, they shouldn't
be
go.
fun.
They shouldn't be there at all. Yep, definitely won't.
Oh well, maybe next year.
Maybe. But yeah, all in all, Daytona is such a fun race. It really is.
It's like a full week-long thing. And honestly, next year we should go.
I'll think about it.
Rent an
Saving them
RV.
pennies.
Live in a trailer.
Honestly, I would do that. I would rent an RV to go down there.
You know what? I don't know what perks the marshals get. I should ask.
You get to
Like
stay
any
up for
of the
18
volunteers?
hours.
Actually, wasn't that bad. They did 4-hour stints,
That's
so
not terrible.
quite a
No.
bit. Yeah, and it was like 12 hours in between. Or no, not 12. 1 a.m. to. It was like about 8 hours in between stints, so you got
So,
time to sleep.
So it was a 12-hour rotation. Makes sense.
4
So you
hours
had-
on, 4 hours off.
So they had what? 3 sets of marshals then? For the whole race?
Yeah, something like that.
That
That's
is how
insane.
math works.
So yeah, 3 sets,
Yeah.
and then you basically did 2 stints of 4 hours. That's
Mhm.
not bad. That's not a bad gig.
Try it. It's fun.
Maybe you might consider. I might consider it in the summer. We'll see.
Come visit me at the
No free ads.
recruiting tent.
No
for
free
No
ads.
free ads.
This
No.
season. Okay, well, MMS is nonprofit, or we don't make any money, or whatever. So, as a volunteer,
Noted.
Join.
No free ads.
come join the cult.
If they make a profit, you know how they can, or if they're non-profit, they can spend money on advertising us to advertise them. So therefore, no free ads.
Okay,
Business.
anyway,
Stonk.
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 Magic math machine time.
Oh god. Yes. Magic Math Machine.
Is that a show?
No.
No,
Okay. So what the
no.
Magic Math Machine was, it was one time in high school. Me and Steven were in accounting.
Oh gosh.
I didn't know the formula to get to the answer, but I figured out the answer by just trial and erroring it.
But you have to show your work in
Yeah.
accounting.
You had to show your work. I didn't know how to help
Of
to
course.
do that, or like the proper steps to do it. So like, I started with the base formula, and then I drew a Dr. Seuss-esque like old machine thing with a little chimney pipe and stuff. It was honestly fantastic. It looked right out of Dr. Seuss, and I just wrote Magic Math Machine on it and put like an arrow in and then an arrow out, and that was the answer.
Question marks.
I love that. Did you at least get a half mark?
Yeah, I got like a half mark on it, but like teacher was like, "Come
Okay,
see me."
good.
So, whoops. Again,
I
one
also
of,
did that in math class once.
one of the best things I ever drew. To be honest, very proud
Well,
of that.
yeah, the question on my test was draw a picture, so I drew a turtle.
There's
I got a half point for creativity.
What? What kind of picture they want?
Well, it just said like draw a picture. It wasn't specific. It didn't say draw a parabola. It didn't say anything like that, or like draw a graph. It just said draw a picture. So I said, well, you know what? I don't know what the answer is to this, so I drew a turtle.
I think that gets full marks.
Well,
Uh,
I'll take my half mark for creativity.
And we'll give full
But-
marks to Acura for the Rolex 24. Heyo, back to racing.
Yes.
See,
Nice.
see, hey, I can bring us back.
You can segue into that. Good job.
I know.
Proud of you.
Yeah. Anyone got anything else to add for the race?
It was
GT
just
was
so
also a
good.
good finish.
Mm-hmm.
Twas.
They had seven cars on the lead lap between GT and was it GTD Pro,
Okay, but
which
like
is
at,
shocking.
At like
Yeah.
the 4-hour remaining mark, they had like 2 in the lead lap. That was very much helped by cautions.
Yes. Well, with 2 hours left, they had
Yes.
7, and that was cool.
And what? We basically ended up getting an hour shootout for the last bit of the race. Became like a sprint race.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah, honestly, it was a really fun race to watch, especially to watch the finish of. So, honestly, 10 out of 10 for this weekend.
There hasn't been a bad Daytona race in like the last 5 years. I'm kind of sad.
Next year's
I
gonna be
missed
shit
this one.
now.
Maybe. I'm kind of sad I missed this one, but like
No.
I think
will
it
be. You
started
just
in like
jinxed it.
2016. I started watching every single one, like always. Yeah, I think 2016. I had it running the entire night while we were at university.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I wish I was in. Oh, I wish I was a motorsports fan. I would have loved that.
Yeah, exactly.
Regrets.
I had it running
Regrets.
basically for the full 24-hour, and then I slept. And honestly, it was a great background noise. Just listen to the cars go by at night. Ugh.
I cannot. Like, there's a part of me that just like so wishes that I would have gotten into motorsports when we were all in university. We could have watched the races together. It would have been so much fun.
I
Me
mean,
and Sean
oh my
got up
God.
to watch Australia
yeah,
and China.
I didn't even know. How did I not even know?
because Drive to Survive hadn't pulled you in yet.
Yep.
Again, it's a great
Wasn't
great
hooked on
series.
that Charles
Really-
Leclerc.
yeah. Yeah, he was just a baby back then.
Yep.
Are you calling me a cradle snatcher?
I ain't calling you a truther.
That ain't it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So, what else do we got?
Next.
Next topic. Let's move this on.
Steven.
We went down a
What do
very
you got
dark
for us?
path there, so. Fun engine news that I guess at this point we're just confirming rumors. So, Audi. Oh my god.
Well,
This is why I shouldn't play around with the documents.
What'd you do?
I was clicking and
You know.
dragging stuff around.
Nice.
Whoops. Audi finally did their buy-in for Sauber. I mean, that has been I won't say a long time coming, but at the same time, it was a bit of a long time coming. So
does that
Audi
mean,
is
like,
now.
does that mean we're gonna
Audi's
see
jumping
Audi?
in. Yeah,
Huh.
we're gonna see Audi, and
But like for this
So-
year, are they not going to be Alfa Romeo? Are they going to be called Audi?
no, they're going to be called Alfa Romeo for this year because the deal ends at the end of 2023. So at the end of this
Okay.
season, then they're going to have to switch to what? I don't think we know, but I'm assuming that they're going to be Audi in 2026.
Sorry, I was just dying
Yeah.
there
Yes?
with the mic.
nice.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
Sorry, I was dying. I was having a coughing fit there as I muted the mic.
Anywho,
Yeah, I
it'll
think
be the whole thing
It'll
of
be either
like,
be Audi or be like Sauber Audi, I assume.
yeah, and then with the engines, it'll be the whole thing of like, is it technically their own? Is it just rebadged? Blah blah blah. Who cares? It's going to be Audi in 2026. That's all that matters. That's the big thing here. Whether it's a rebadged
Anything?
engine,
Porsche,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Or
if
if
it's a
Audi
rebadged
is
engine
the
from,
engine manufacturer.
yeah, that's what I mean. I think Audi will be the engine manufacturer.
Well, because there
in
was the talk about Porsche forever,
2026.
right? Because like Porsche was supposed to be
Yeah.
tied to Red Bull. That fell apart because neither team wanted to really give up control. So
Mhm.
I don't think Porsche is coming into F1, and if that's the situation, that means then Audi is the engine manufacturer. At least
Yep.
they'll be the badged
So-
one.
Yes.
So that's the one half of the news. And then today, Ford is saying that they're coming in with Red Bull in 2026.
Okay, that
And that's
that is not what they said.
Well, it's rumored.
did they say?
It's rumored.
That's a rumor. There has been zero confirmation on this, and I have seen
Not yet.
zero people in the industry talking about it. I saw like the one account tweet
Really?
it, or like the one, yeah, it was like one account said this, and everyone's jumping on it, and I'm like, where is this coming from?
Yeah.
I
So, okay.
I do not believe this.
Apparently, there's a reason why the Red Bull reveal is happening in New York City. Which is like random because it's based in England, but a lot of people are saying that Ford has been sending like press people and influencers to be at that event for a specific reason, and it's possible that an announcement that Ford as an engine supplier in 2026 for Red Bull might be something that happens. It's unconfirmed, but it is a rumor that
and
is
it
out
was
there.
yeah. And so if it's picking up steam, this was already rumored like a month ago as well. So that's why I think more people are jumping on it as fact. The fact that it's now popping back up again.
Mhm.
So
I think there are signs of it being true. And honest to goodness, I do not know how I feel about it because I do not like Fords. I hate Fords.
My truck says
So-
go fuck yourself.
Okay, first off, I know that you do not have a Ford engine in that car.
No, that is a Ford engine car. It is a Mazda chassis, the Ford Ranger. Just
Okay,
to clarify.
sure, whatever.
Ah, no,
Okay.
that
All right.
truck.
Just to clarify,
Giant
didn't
mouse.
Sheila like die last year
No, the
and
alternator
like
died.
have to be resuscitated?
No, the alternator
Okay,
died
anyway.
after over
Found on road
500,000
dead.
kilometers.
Found on road dead.
500,000
First
kilometers.
off, Peter has a Ford Escape, a company car, and I swear every single time it hits like 10,000 kilometers, it dies. Dies on the
Weird.
road.
My Ford has the exact same engine with zero work on it, and it's had over 500,000 kilometers. So suck it.
Zero work. No, Sean, stop.
On the engine
Fords
itself,
are known
none.
to be crap.
I haven't touched the engine.
Well, I'm glad that you got the shining star example out of Fords.
I-
Otherwise, on the reg, they're bad.
My Ford Ranger is amazing. Shut up. Moving on. Not re-
Oh.
but okay. So this Ford,
Anywho.
Ford thing for F1, I don't want to believe it because Ford has basically shied away from every form of motorsports the last few years. In fact, they've even like shut down several operations in motorsports, like the Ford GT program in like the GT3 class. They really only have like 5 things, which is like I think the Mustang GT3 or GT4, NASCAR, Australian supercars, I think rally, and I think that's kind of it. Like Ford isn't everywhere in motorsports, so for them to now go,
but-
we're gonna jump into F1 seems weird.
It's not impossible, though.
No, I don't.
I mean, if
get it.
Red Bull
And-
is out there shopping for manufacturers, which they clearly are because they don't have one for 2026, it's not impossible that Ford would want to get in the ring.
No,
And don't
it's
forget,
true.
this is coming after GM has put in a strong bid to break into F1, and Ford might just be saying, well, we can't let our top rival in the States get onto the biggest platform
That
and
is
not
fair.
be there. So,
Mhm. I think anything is on the table as of this point. Anything is on the table. Whether or not this is true, yet to be seen. However, if this does go through and Red Bull is supplied by Ford for their engines, I think we're going to see a struggle city from them from 2026 onwards.
I would find it very funny that Ford would go back to Red Bull. The reason I say that is because Red Bull came from Ford. Because Red Bull bought Jaguar from Ford to become the Red Bull team. Because before they were Stewart with Ford engines, then they became Jaguar, and then they were bought by Red Bull. So for Ford to go crawling back and be like, hey, can we have a bit of that team back? To me is kind of funny.
Well, okay, so how many years ago was this?
20?
Okay, so 20 years ago.
Which,
If you think about...
is a huge time in motorsports time.
It's huge, but like there's just so many different people who cycle through, but also like the management team at Ford or whoever's responsible for making these bids or these decisions or, you know, maybe pitching this is probably completely different now than it was 20 years ago. There might not even be people in the company like who have those like the decision-making power that are still there that were involved in the decision or like in the whole Red Bull buying Jaguar from them.
No, agreed. Like,
So-
I don't know where it'll go with that. Like, I also don't even know if they're going to have to come with Ford as the brand. Maybe they come with a different brand, like how GM's not coming with Chevy. They're going to come in with Cadillac, right?
Yeah, like you honestly, we don't know at this point until something is confirmed.
True.
However,
They might.
I will question the reliability of these engines if it is confirmed.
I mean, what if it's the opposite? Like, remember Honda always has, like, Honda's some of the best reliable cars, and yet for the longest time their engines were terrible. So maybe Ford will come in and just have really reliable engines.
I don't know, man. Like, look, it's gonna take a lot of selling for me to believe that, like, a Ford engine would actually do well in F1. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would have to see it to believe it. But you have a good point.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll be
Maybe-
shocked
maybe
if it
as-
happens.
Okay. All right.
But
Do you want to put a bet down?
let's say Ford does come in. No, I'm not going to put a bet down. If Ford does come in,
Darn.
and we have Audi, so we have Ford, Audi, Ferrari, Mercedes, Renault, Honda, maybe not. We'll see what happens to them. And then you have possibly
Cadillac.
GM with Cadillac. Let's say Honda comes back also. You could have 7 manufacturers.
We need more teams, damn it.
Yeah, you do,
Yes.
or else you're just going to have like another 2008 scenario where all teams pull out. If anything happens, that's not good. Looking at state of the world, a lot of it's not good.
Yep.
But yeah, I saw people also questioning what will happen with Honda and Red Bull's relationship. I have
They already pulled out.
Honda also might want back in, and I have very bold strategy of what they might do.
What's that?
Okay. Tell me.
By AlphaTauri.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Ooh. Interesting.
I could see
Ooh.
Red Bull wanting to maybe ditch their second team. Honda might pay in to buy them out or to make them their own. So you could have, which would finally kill every little bit of minority DNA left in that team. Which, yeah, would be kind of sad. But I could see that happening too.
Anyways, the Red Bull livery launch is on Friday, so maybe we'll hear something then. Until then, it's strong rumors at best.
I am taking it with 90 tons of salt.
Okay.
Do we want to go through the quick hits of news?
Yes.
Yes.
Very quickly. So well, actually no. I was gonna say we are slowly getting closer to livery launches, and we had one today because we
Haas.
got to see the new Haas.
I want your
Yeah.
one word thought on the Haas livery.
Meh.
I was gonna say Newgarden and Penske, but yeah, that works.
Fair enough.
It's 2 words, but close enough. It looks like the Newgarden car
That's fair.
with the Hitachi sponsorship.
I would say positive would be my response. I think it's a good direction for Haas. So
Yep.
Okay.
we'll get more into it
All
when
right.
we do our. We'll eventually do a breakdown of all of the F1 liveries when they are announced later this month or the next couple weeks. So we'll save all
Coming
the
this
actual.
February.
Yes. So we'll save it for that. But yeah, until then, for now, it's out there, and it's a Haas,
It's a Haas.
and that's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. So NASCAR, the Clash is next week.
That's sneaking up on us, and so is the NASCAR
Preseason?
season. Daytona 500's
Yep.
in what, like 3 weeks?
Yeah.
3 weeks. I cannot
Ooh.
believe it.
That's gonna be fun.
Might actually watch it this year, guys.
I think we should
I
all
will-
watch it together on here together. That way
Yeah.
you're forced
Okay,
to watch it.
sure. Okay. I'm free that day. Sure, we'll do it.
Okay, good. So, Clash is coming up. I don't really care for the Clash. It's where it's back in the LA Coliseum.
I think so.
I
yeah.
thought it was at Daytona.
No.
At least that's what the schedule said, but I guess it's probably at the Coliseum.
I think they brought it back to the Coliseum.
I know Rob Lowe is the Marshal Grandmaster or whatever, Grand Marshal or whatever of the race. So.
Sorry, it's
It
the
is
Busch
at
Light
the Coliseum.
Clash at the Coliseum. So yeah,
Busch Light. Some classic good tasting beer.
it'll probably be kind of similar to last year's, so it'll kind of be probably a bit of a shit show. Maybe a little bit more aggressive since last year they kind of went easy on the cars because they were all brand new and no one wanted to damage anything. And there was a bit of a
And there was
part shortage at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
Now
Yeah,
that's all
supply
pretty much
chain
sorted.
issues.
So you might see guys getting punted.
Right.
So that could be fun. I'll give it a watch.
just see what happens. What else? What else? I mean, the rest is basically all NASCAR stuff. You
Really?
had Pastrana. Travis Pastrana is talking about doing the Daytona 500, which
Is he doing it?
that'll be
So he's
don't know.
qualifying for it, right?
yes.
Like he's gonna try and qualify for it, but like he's part of the like 4 chartered seats. Like they're all going for it at some point. Jimmy
Yeah.
Johnson's going for it.
Yeah, you have to.
Castroneves,
You have to race
maybe.
your way in.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, the way the NASCAR, or I guess Daytona 500 works is you have your chartered teams, which are your 36 that get in guaranteed. And then you have 4 spots, and then basically, back in the day, it used to be there was no real charter system or owner's point system, really. So it was set based on you would qualify, and then the only people that would guarantee spots in the field were the top 2 pole sitters for the duels. If you qualify in the front row in speed around the track, you got into the race. Then you had the duels, which were 2 races, I think of 125 miles, and that set the actual field. Nowadays, there's so many, I think then it became owner's points, and then it became chartered cars. So these are all cars that basically are guaranteed in no matter what. So what you're going to see is basically you're going to have 4 cars in each race, each of the duels, that have to race their way in. And whoever finishes, I think, the best 2 of each of the 4 will make it. And I think Pastrana is doing one of those.
Yeah,
One of those
he'll be
rides.
doing
Yes.
it, and he'll be doing
Yes.
it in Sean's favorite team, or as the third car in Sean's favorite team, 23XI.
2311. And actually, yeah, 2311 has kind of become a hero team, not going to lie. I do like everything about that team.
So
What's that? Like Bubba Wallace and
Yeah, Bubba Wallace. I think I like Denny Hamlin. He's a good guy.
and Tyler
Mhm.
Reddick.
Tyler Reddick.
Denny Hamlin. Oh, Tyler Reddick. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
yeah.
Well,
so-
good luck to him in qualifying.
And then the other half of that is Kyle Larson's doing the double in 2024.
Yeah, that was a couple of weeks ago when that came. We didn't really talk about that then.
No,
I don't have much to say until 2024, really.
yeah, no, but it's cool that he's already announced that he's doing it. Like,
Yeah.
who was the
What is
last
the
guy to do the
double?
double? So the double is doing
the
both
double?
the Indy 500 and the Coke 600.
Kurt Busch?
Oh.
Is it Kurt?
Yeah, that was Kurt Busch.
Right.
He either did the
But
double
anyways.
or he didn't do the. I know he did the race, but I don't know if he actually did the. He did Indy. I don't know if he did Coca-Cola.
2014 was the last one.
Yeah, he did. He did attempt the double. He blew his engine at Coke 600.
Yeah,
So
so
he
it's
didn't
been
finish
almost
it. So
yeah, so it's been almost 10 years.
yeah.
But let's see what he can do. Okay, and last thing, we got new NASCAR rules / little tweaks.
Didn't we just
and,
have new NASCAR rules? Or no.
maybe, but anywho,
Possibly.
yes, maybe.
we're getting rid of stages, but only on the road courses.
Ugh.
No, but this is a
So-
great move. This shows
It-
they're listening, and they're taking fan feedback into consideration, because it
Are they
ruins
listening to us?
it ruins strategy on the road courses, the stages, because everyone has to be on the same strategy. So teams want to have different strategies, and so do, and also you've had a couple, I think, wild card finishes at road courses, and teams are not liking that,
Yeah.
and fans also don't want to see stages there.
Yeah.
And it's not
I
like
mean,
okay,
also stages are trash.
stages are still there.
Yes, they're still awarding points. They just don't throw a caution anymore.
Yes.
Which is fine. If you want to award points for certain distances, that's always been fine. Just don't stop the race.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. It's have your stages fine. Don't stop it. Don't throw a caution. Let the race keep going. Who is fastest at this point, at this point, at this point. That's how stages should work. And I really hope it works well on road courses so that we can see it going forward adopted to ovals.
Yep. That would be fantastic.
I'll give it 2 years. I'll give it 2 years. 2025 stages are gone. Sorry, stage cautions are gone, but 2025. I will predict.
I hope it's 2024.
Okay, all right, please. I hope they get rid of stages. Stupid.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Dumb gimmick.
Yeah. So, anywho, that's gone. The other thing, I mean, we talked about it when it happened. It's now finally become a rule with a time penalty. The Ross Chastain wall ride, or was it the Hail Melon, has been deemed a compromise to safety of an event and will now result in a time penalty.
That's bullshit.
When attempted.
I think keep it in.
I don't hate it.
It
was fun.
If you want to wreck your car just for the advantage of, like, you know, trying it, that's your prerogative. You know what? And there's not even guarantee that'll work.
Yeah, but
fine.
Like, it was one of those things. I think we said it at the time too. If they ban it, fine. If not, cool. I mean,
yeah, it's fine.
It was one of those things. It worked at the time in that situation. If they left it in, would you probably see someone try it again? Yes. And would they probably fail? Would they fail? Probably.
And then you ban it at that time.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's. It will now be the only attempt, or I guess the only attempt, or the most recent attempt, because I'm pretty sure we've seen a couple other cars do it, but this was the one time that it worked. It'll now be etched forever in history.
That is true. And it's gone.
Yeah. So, other than that, there was, what was it? Wheel penalty rule changes, not really big. And a damage repair clock change getting tweaked to 7 minutes from 6.
I like that.
Because they realized. Well, yeah. So they timed. So I guess they timed it out. They realized it takes 6.5 minutes to change a toe link. So therefore, we're going to make it 7 minutes just to make sure you got the time.
Yeah, so you can at least check. Okay,
Fantastic.
we do need to do the toe link, or just maybe no clock at all, and you can get back out there. Can we start treating NASCAR like endurance racing? After the success of endurance racing this week and how great it is, can NASCAR go back to being an endurance race?
Well, and they could, because they remember for playoffs last year, it wasn't 6 minutes. They bumped it up to 10 minutes for repairs. So now we're slowly seeing that creep up. It could be like the stage cautions where, okay, we're going to try it out like this. Oh, it's working well. Oh, why don't we just extend it back to this? Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're slowly going to backpedal back to 2004 NASCAR. Yeah, we're just backpedaling to the Winston Cup era at this rate. It'll take a while, but we'll be there by 2030, I hope. But yeah.
Literally, when you said the Winston Cup, all I thought about was the Piston Cup. I just watched Cars this weekend.
That's what it's from.
Oh, Lightning McQueen.
Okay, speaking of Winston Cup and also other nostalgia, there's the other bit of NASCAR news, which is the Truck Series, which has for the longest time been known as the WeatherTech? No. What's it? Camping World Truck Series. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes, the Camping World Truck Series.
Is no longer the Camping World Truck Series.
What is it now?
Oh, it is back to the Craftsman Truck Series. Yes.
Okay, sweet.
That early 2000s nostalgia.
I thought you were going to say it's like the NXT, or I don't know.
No, because
it's
Craftsman was the original. No, Craftsman was the original sponsor of the Truck Series, and then it went to Camping World, and everyone kind of was like, oh, okay, this is okay. But the Craftsman Truck Series just sounds so good. Always has rolled off the tongue well. We just need the Xfinity Series to get sponsored by Busch again. So it can be the Busch Series, and everything is good. NASCAR slowly going back to where it was, 20 years ago, but in a good way.
Redeeming itself as IndyCar continues to shoot itself in the foot.
I don't even want to look at them as I'm wearing an Indianapolis shirt.
We just cannot talk about it.
No, we can't. Anyway, is that all we got for this week? In terms of news and stuff?
So. Yeah,
Perfect.
I think so.
In terms of news, yes.
I have a fun game to play with y'all. A little quiz, if you don't mind.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Question though.
No.
Are we a team, or like what's the vibe here?
What are we doing?
Okay. You will be against each other in this.
Oh, solid. Okay, cool.
Okay.
I'm down.
You get one shot answers. If you're wrong, on to the next.
Right.
Dang. Okay.
And it is.
Oh, no.
There is. Okay, so what the answer is? This is based off of a post that was done this week. I think it was by F1 actually, showing all the drivers' total lap times. Or sorry, not lap times. Total laps completed in F1.
I was gonna say total lap times.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Total laps completed in F1. So it was all the ranks and how many laps every single person has done. I want you to name the 3 teams who are the top 3 in terms of experience in F1 who have done the most laps. You're going to do the top 3 and you're going to do the bottom 3.
So sorry, it's the most laps completed in F1 all time
by the driver.
The team.
By the 2 drivers on that team.
By the driver?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the 2 drivers on that team.
Yes. So who wants to go first?
Currently. We're
currently,
talking currently,
yes.
right?
The current 20 drivers in F1, which team has the most laps completed in F1 and which team has the last? I have it ranked from 1 to 10.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are we talking roster from 2022 or roster from 2023?
2023.
Going into this year.
Going into this season.
Going into this year.
Going into this season.
Okay.
We'll start with the top 3. Going into the season,
right.
Which team is number 1 in? So we're gonna go top 3.
Oh, this is hard. I'm thinking now, this is hard.
What team has the most laps in F1? Or what team's drivers have the most laps in F1? Who wants to go first? Steven?
No, let Taylor go first.
Taylor can go first.
No, Steven, you go first.
Too late.
Okay, fine.
Steven, who do you think, what team has the most laps in F1?
Do I have to place them anywhere or
select your number 1 team for the most laps in F1.
See, this is hard.
I am gonna say Mercedes.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think because Hamilton's got so many damn laps.
He does.
It's like
nope. Mercedes is your answer.
Yeah.
Mercedes is your answer.
Mercedes is your
Nope,
answer.
Steven. Nope,
Mercedes
Steven.
is your answer.
Mercedes is your answer. Taylor.
That's fine.
You can't change.
Taylor.
That's
Aston
fine.
Martin.
Aston Martin is the correct one. That is the number 1 team.
That's the other one I was going to. I was like,
Because of Alonso, right?
And Stroll.
And Stroll, he's had a lot of yes.
I was just like,
Steven, Mercedes is number 2.
I knew it.
See, that's why I was thinking because Alonso fucked off for a bit. And I was like, Hamilton's been around a long time. He completed a lot of laps because the car was unbeatable.
Alonso's been around longer.
Like when you win a bunch, that means you're not getting lapped. And George Russell has been around a while and he's gotten lapped.
But he also drove for Williams.
Yes, but again, he's been around for
Stroll.
4 or 5 years.
And Alonso and Hamilton is number 1 and 2.
Stroll was in a Williams too.
But he was also in a Racing Point, which had a pretty decent season prior to becoming Aston Martin, and Williams was still trash.
But it's also Lance Stroll.
Yeah, and Stroll is 10th in experience in F1 in terms of laps.
What the shit?
Okay,
yeah.
So Alonso makes up the bulk of it.
No, but I just want to point out who Stroll has more laps in F1 than Ocon. Gasly.
No! Don't say it, because now we're gonna
no.
be able to base our bottom three off
Oh,
of it.
okay, fine. But
Don't say it yet.
True.
Don't say it yet.
True.
but there's like 10 people. Like he beats half the grid. Anyway.
Yes.
Okay,
but
fine.
I'm saying if we're gonna guess the bottom three as well, don't say anything.
Fine.
Yeah.
Can you guess the third team in total laps though? This one you can
In total
This one you
laps?
can do together. Taylor had, or I'll
Aston
let
Martin.
one of you pick, and I'll let the other person pick, and like because Taylor
Aston
already has the
Martin,
1 point.
Mercedes.
So which team is number 3 in most laps?
In most laps?
Who's been around a while? Bottas has been around a while,
He's been around a while.
but Guan Yu Zhou
Um,
hasn't.
He hasn't. He's only been around for a
Okay,
season.
again, stop thinking about it. I need. Don't team up on this. One of you answer, and the other person.
Team up.
No, but then I changed it to be. Sorry. Okay.
Pick.
You're still competing against each other. I need one of you to pick and the other person to pick, and if you both get whoever gets it gets
Okay.
the point because Taylor's up 1.
I'm going to say third. I'm going to say Ferrari.
Steven? And you can also
say Ferrari.
you can if you want to say the same, you can say the same. You can split it.
Yeah, I'll say Ferrari.
Okay, you're both
We've
wrong.
both been around a while. Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Oh no! What was it?
Who was it?
It is Red Bull.
Yeah. That's,
Of
Yeah.
course! Oh my
Max
gosh!
was 16 when he started,
yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Been around for so damn long.
and
Steven,
Perez
we are
has been in there forever.
idiots.
It's okay. You have a great another chance to prove
No.
how dumb you are with the bottom 3.
No, because Ferrari,
Oh.
like Sainz and Leclerc have been around for a while too.
They have, but like Max started when he was 16, and also Perez has been around
Yeah,
for a while
and-
too. How could we
and
not
Max-
guess Red Bull?
Because Max
To be
used
honest,
to
I'm a
wreck
little
himself.
drunk right now, so I totally forgot Red Bull was a thing.
It's okay. You usually forget Red Bull's a thing anyway.
A little bit of wine.
Okay.
So-
bottom 3. After this, we'll go through the entire list just for fun. Can you name which team has the least amount of laps in F1? Which driver pairing?
Williams
Okay.
is at least there.
Taylor's
They might
answer
be
is Williams. Is that your answer?
third. Oh no, not the least.
Okay.
Hold on. Just
Okay,
let me
okay.
think. No, actually, I'm gonna stick with Williams.
Okay, Steven.
Trying to think if there's anyone lower because Nick DeVries has done like one race.
Literally one.
I'm gonna say AlphaTauri.
Steven gets this one. Point to Steven.
No.
Because, yep.
Oh, that's right. Cause Yuki.
Yes.
He's still somewhat newer.
He's a
Steven's
baby.
done 2 years of laps.
I've done
Now-
2
I
years of
guess-
laps. Look at me go.
So, now, the 8th team. The bottom 3, the last one. So this is now for everything.
So
We're
wait,
tied.
was Williams the second last?
Williams is second last.
Okay.
So you're
Okay,
close.
so this is like
So both tied 1-1. Who's going to get the winner? The eighth team.
McLaren.
I was gonna say McLaren too.
And you're
Yeah,
both
she's
would be
done
right
that.
there. It is McLaren.
Yeah.
So we're
Piastri's done
tied?
4.
You guys tied this one. Do you want the actual order of teams in terms of who has the most?
I guess Ferrari's fourth, right?
Ferrari's 5th.
Really?
Oh, who's
Okay.
fourth?
Ooh, that's a fun one. Who's 4th?
Alfa Romeo?
Alfa Romeo is
They're gonna be like sixth.
They are 6th.
Because Bottas
Okay,
is
hold
like
on.
50 laps.
Can the tiebreaker be that we guess who's fourth?
Well, you only have 2 guesses left, so
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's a 50-50 shot.
and when you say it, you're both gonna know it.
To be honest, just give me a second. I need to think of who we haven't said yet. My gosh, the wine is going to my head.
It's okay. It's
Can't
for the
think.
best. We should wrap this up before Taylor passes out. It is between
All right.
Haas and Alpine. Which one?
Alpine.
It's easy.
Which one is
Alpine
fifth?
is fourth, obviously.
Which one is 4th and which one is
No,
7th?
it's Haas.
Yes, it is Haas.
What?
It's
Hulkenberg.
Because Hulkenberg.
Hulkenberg. And also, Sean gave it away by saying Stroll has outlapped
The other two.
Gasly and
Ocon.
Ocon.
Yeah,
Right.
Hulkenberg is the 5th most lapped person on the grid next year.
Well, that's because they're old farts.
Yep.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Yeah, Magnussen
Like,
is
I love K-Mags,
just
but,
ahead
like-
of Stroll in terms of laps.
Who was, sorry?
Wow.
Magnussen is just ahead of Stroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to go over the list
Scary.
of people who have done less laps than Stroll in F1.
Yes,
Ocon, Gasly,
The French.
Leclerc,
The French. Yeah.
Russell, Norris, Albon, Tsunoda, Zhou. If you really think about it, Stroll's been there for a while, but it's kind of alarming.
Well, he started at 18, right? Like, he was
did,
pretty
yeah.
young, too.
Mm-hmm.
And those Williams, like, he was in a Williams, but the Williams was still somewhat decent. Like, it wasn't the complete steaming
Well,
pile of
you're not
shit.
you're only losing like 2 laps compared to everyone else that race, right? Like you're
Yeah.
not.
Well,
you're not
but no,
losing
but
so
that
much.
but that Williams, he put that Williams on a podium too.
Yes,
So
he
it
did.
wasn't
Yeah,
like the
that's true.
so it wasn't a pure back marker. It was still like mid-ish.
His first season, it was there. Then it got worse
Yeah.
and worse.
Then it slowly
Yeah.
turned into
But yeah.
shit.
Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed that.
Oh my gosh. That was good. Well done.
Anyway, on
Nice
that
quiz.
note, I think we should wrap up, and we will be back next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Spare Parts Racing podcast. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and follow the show on Twitter at Spare Parts Racing. That's Spare Parts RACIN, and on TikTok at Spare Parts Pod. Follow the hosts at Sean Chavarella, at Stephen Clary, and at Tay Moore.